Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. I am Avik, and in this channel I give you tips and tricks on work-life balance, technology, and faith. And today I share with you some excerpts from a recent webinar with accounting teachers where I share 8 basic principles for effective online teaching. What are the essential principles and practices for teaching online? I actually mentioned that this is already one of those examples of curation. You're going to search in the internet. You don't expect me to say something new, but I learned from these experts in the internet, so I curate the content for you. From this chronicle.com website, I was able to find this article that said essential principles and practices for teaching online, and I can comment on those that really are things that I already know and that I agree. The first is online presence. If many of you agree to asynchronous learning, it would be good to have still that regular presence, because they can actually prepare their questions and they can tell you what they didn't understand. So it's good to engage them in a regular presence. They can tell you what they learned. And then your presence is very important. It would be good to be very human. Infuse your writing, your blogs, your course materials, you infuse them with warmth. It would not be nice these days to start immediately with a serious topic. The students, after missing you, probably need some more conversation. So that's also part of the warmth. Ask them muna kung nakapag-breakfast na sila. I've encountered someone, a former student in a vocational technical school, and she's saying that, today I have 200 pesos, but next week I don't know how much money I'll have. I mean, she was alone in an ECQ area. So those are realities that for sure you hear more of those. I'm not a TV person. I don't watch many bad news, no? I mean, I'm not saying that everything that we watch is bad, but I'm sure you are exposed to the realities of life. So we have to put that also in our setting. Learn to ask students first how they're doing before you start the class. And then be very clear. Clarity is very important. Be intentional, be clear. You know, I've experienced it, and this is an error that I learned from. I thought that the students are all techie, so when I started a simulation, I explained it for 1 hour with all the graphs, with all the charts, with all the presentation provided by the simulation provider. And then later on, the evaluation was, we wish we had some tutorials on how to do it. And I thought, wow, that was a wrong assumption, thinking that they could just do it on their own. But still, it would have been clearer if I explained everything really without assuming that they can do it. For sure, some students will be bored because just looking at it, they already grasp the entire idea. But the others are not. So we always think that we don't assume that everybody knows. So it's very important to be clear what exactly they want them to do. Like when I did that simulation exercise, every Friday they have to make some decisions as coffee bar owners. And some students did not give me some decisions on a Friday. And when we discussed that, the next week, on a Monday, for example, they say they didn't understand that. I realized I really have to be clearer next time. I should remind them in the learning management system, give them an email. Okay, it's 7 p.m. in 2 hours time, the simulation will close. Better put your decisions. So I could have done that so that everybody could have participated really well. And then organize content. Can you tell me what is that learning management system that you are getting used to right now? Are you doing Canvas? Are you doing Moodle? Yeah, I'm familiar with Canvas. But before that, for some years, I on my own, I was like spending for Moodle. When the university is not into learning management system, I already paid while I'm teaching, and it's like an investment for me. I already paid for Moodle, for a Moodle expert. That's someone who can really teach me, because the Moodle is free, but sometimes it's quite difficult to learn. So I had to pay someone additionally, a US provider online, to help me with the Moodle, so that I can have my online quizzes there, my tests, and everything. So the LMS and you must be organized in terms of content and direction. Do not take things for granted. I've mentioned it several times. When I was using Canvas, I even had to say to my students, pag naka-indent, then that is not included, it is optional. For sure, the students were listening so much in the optional thing. So again, I realized that, okay, let's do it another way, because if not, nobody will look into the optional material. So I had to. But doing that, I learned. And then the visual design is very important. The students are seeing so many nice things in Instagram. I'm just learning Instagram as a business right now. Aside from YouTube, I am now learning Instagram. But I realize how much I have missed out for many years doing this. Now I'm just into videography, I'm into photography, and the students are there. And sometimes I learn from the experience. With this one, they will not really mind it, but if my picture is there, they will like it. And then it's not just a matter of a picture, because I placed a picture before, but then if it's something that is curated, I got the design from somewhere, then I get those likes. No, so I'm not for the likes. It's just that if I am starting a business, I have to make sure that it's, again, being very professional. So teaching is a professional endeavor, so we also have to learn to improve in visual appeal in our lecture. Are you interested to know what is this presentation? Is it PowerPoint? I will tell you. It's Apple Keynote, but it's not the typical template that you see in Apple Keynote. If some of you are Mac users, I actually paid for this. I have like a subscription of, I will not tell you the amount, but I have a subscription of digital assets. And this one is one of those that I was able to download. I should say that even if it's a huge amount for the entire year, because YouTube is my business and everything that I use must have a copyright. So I subscribed to it, I paid an amount, and I can tell you it's cost effective. With the amount, if you look into my YouTube, with the amount of fonts and presentations and videos and images that I can use, I can tell you it's really worth the price. And it's not a secret, because if you go into any of my YouTube videos, you will see in the video description the digital assets, the subscription that I have for Envato Elements. I'm not selling that. I'm just saying that as accountants, I always emphasize that you don't really get everything for free. If you want it of higher quality, then we have to have a cost-benefit analysis. Are you going for the cheap ones that doesn't look professional, or you're going to pay a little bit of a price? And then another principle, clear expectations. We have to explain in detail what you are looking for and what students need to do in order to succeed in the course. And when I was using Moodle, I would give them some quizzes. And I know many of you would have questions on assessment. And how do you assess quizzes? You know, I know it's human nature. If you are doing it online on your own, then even if it's time, there could just be textbook there, or there could be just be your parent there beside you. I mean, the parent of the student beside helping, no? They can always get 100% all the time if it's online quiz. Don't mind, it's just a recitation. But I had to tell them in advance that the final exam is also online. They will see their grades immediately after submitting the quiz immediately. But we will do it in the classroom, all of you with your laptops, and really I'm going to see that you don't have any other side. So I have to clarify that, okay, I'll leave you to get 100% in every online quiz, but know that the final exam, you are on your own. So that's really being very detailed. What I expect you to do is really be honest, really study. Okay? I'm sure you have done that. You're very professional faculty, but I just, again, don't want to leave this the chance. I had to clarify that. Okay, and then we have to scaffold learning. What is that? You've seen scaffolds. You have to reach the top. You have to go step by step. So scaffolding learning means being systematic, explaining step by step the activities, the tests, the projects, the papers, and other assignments. You know, when I assign to them, to my students before, that they have to do some portfolio. For the entire semester, they have to do a portfolio of these activities. Then, again, another error is to take it for granted that they know it, they know scrapbooking, but you know, some guys do not know that. So I had to explain it also, what is expected of them in their portfolio. Then we have to also try to have a pleasant class. If as an instructor, you struggle to enjoy the online learning environment, it's not hard to imagine that this struggle is even harder for the students. Of course, it's a struggle. For example, I want to know, are they really looking at me? Or there is like a small Netflix screen there, and one of their earphones is on the lecture and another one is on the movie. For sure, it can really be a struggle to engage the class, but for the students also, it can really be a struggle to be less distracted.